Assliquid. Now, why Assliquid? Well, first of all, the name is just absolutely genius. Assliquid. It just goes, doesn't it? It's a little bit like a coin that is one of the top coins right now. Is this POO coin. I don't like saying it, to be honest. But anyway, it's very, very similar to that in that it's just got that shock value. Assliquid, which is also another word for this, right? It's absolutely perfection. But that's not the crux of where this has value, okay? Even though that shock value is what led to this for tits, okay? Assliquid, brilliant, you know, and it's only 3 syllables as well. You know, for a long title, Assliquid is very easily rolls off the tongue. But where the USP is for Assliquid is here, right? So right now, what are the big movers right now? Asta. Asta, by a mile, outperforms everything here, is Asta, right? Now, who wants to get into Asta at a multi-billion-dollar market cap, right? Literally no one who cares about making money, right? You want to turn 1,000 into maybe 2,000? Fine, fill your boots with Asta. If you want to turn 1 million into 2 million, maybe you could do that with Asta. But, you know, as far as many cryptocurrencies are concerned, the best way to have exposure to Asta is to have something that essentially is Asta, but low market cap. Now, Asta is a decentralized perpetual exchange, which is exactly what Assliquid is. And it's very relevant, despite the fact that most of the market are up right now. Asta is outperforming everything in the top 100 and outperforming it by a huge distance. And so is Mix. You know, Mix is basically number 4 on here as the best riser, right? And Mix and Asta are basically the same type of project, which is a DeFi project. And Assliquid is basically the look and feel of a meme. So Assliquid is a meme name, it's a meme icon, but the actual website is a perpetual exchange, which they are constantly adding more and more functionality to. You know, so Assliquid has insane potential because this is essentially a mascot for Hyperliquid and Asta. That is where Assliquid comes from. It is basically an amalgamation of Asta and Hyperliquid put together to create a better name, Assliquid, with the logos of each individual elite cryptocurrency coming together to create probably the most perfect look, to be honest. Look at that. That is perfection, really. Okay, oh, hold on, wrong one. So anyway, yeah, so Assliquid, given the absolute brilliant, you know, relevance of Asta, that's all you need is the relevance. You know, it's a little bit like Shiba Inu. The reason that did a 1 million X in the bull market, last bull market, was only because Elon Musk said he was the CEO of Dogecoin and said he was working with Dogecoin to actually make this into one of the big cryptocurrencies. And it just needed that relevance constantly being pushed of Doge for Shiba to do a 1 million X. Because Shiba to Doge is what Assliquid is to Asta and Hyperliquid. It's basically, as long as this narrative is current, this one has the potential to spike. And given that I've seen so many influencers talking about Asta and Hyperliquid, and will continue to, and I'm talking about the biggest YouTubers, then there's all the potential for Assliquid to outperform any other DeFi meme. And that's the other great thing about Assliquid, is that this is that perfect amalgamation of meme and DeFi. It just makes DeFi way more accessible, because DeFi, the reason why this isn't a popular narrative is only because people just, they find it too boring. They find it too technical. You know, yield farming, staking, all that stuff. They don't like it. Perps, what is that? Longing, shorting, leverage, what is that? New retail market coming into the market, they're not going to understand that, right? So DeFi is not very accessible. It's not very likely to do insanely well. But something like Assliquid basically takes the retail friendliness, the joke and shock value of a meme, and mixes it with a boring narrative, which is DeFi, and creates something that is actually interesting and accessible to all. And you don't have to take my word for it. You know, We Love Tits, it was absolutely nowhere before the banana zone. So you only have to wait, really. That's it. That's really your only task.